Hey everybody. It is Mother's Day, May 9th. 2 weeks from today, hubby and I will have our anniversary, May 23rd. I wish it was on a Saturday. We'll be more open. We'll do something. Anyways, we thought about like doing a train ride. He's never been on a train. He would love a train ride and all that, but that's not something in our budget right now because we had already booked our trip to Wyoming for his 50th class year reunion. Did I get it right, Sister Kathy? That's not till September. Speaking of which, um, lots of changes going on. Well, perhaps we'll see. This is really going to be huge for us, y'all. We live in a 3-bedroom, 2.5 townhome. We love it. Absolutely love it. We've made it just home. It just, the only challenge is the stairs at times, depends on how we're doing, his hip and my knees. But I don't know. I'm really going to miss it. The reason I'm going to miss it is because if we get approved, we're, hold your breath, we're moving into senior housing, not assisted living, just senior housing. And we're going to be talk about downsizing. We're going to be being in a 1-bedroom, 1-bath. I guess we got to learn not to get on each other's nerves even more. I had kind of a really stressful day yesterday, and I've given it some thought, and it was because of just anticipation, like what's going to happen and all that. And then today I said, you know what? It don't matter. If we get approved, we go. If we don't, we stay and we figure that out. What was I sweating for? I know better. You challenge that negative thinking. See, the more you challenge your negative thinking, the more you feel confident that no matter what happens, you'll be okay. The easier you are to live with, too. Come to that conclusion. Um, by the way, I, I don't think I'm ever going to cut my hair again. I'm really enjoying having long hair. I know Sister Kathy feels the same way. Hers is, I saw it the other day. I was like, whoa, that took a growth curve. Anyway, today's Mother's Day. I will only hear from one of our children. I'm pretty confident that's the case. I might be like miraculously surprised. Daughter Livy, she sent funds and hubby went and got me some nice things I'm really happy about. Um, you know, uh, if you listen to my previous videos, you understand what's going on between me and my son and his son somewhat. I only touched a little bit on that. And of course, our eldest daughter, Miranda, Panda. So, you know, it's like I always say, every holiday is different. You have to meet it where you're at, find those little jewels, those little gems, okay? And you wear those. Put your crown on, girl. Put it on straight. Sir, you put your crown on. No. Anyways, I don't think I've been on since I participated in a march. The march was a stand against racist what you want to say, slogan or mascot. In this case, it was the Redskin mascot at Allgood Middle School in Tennessee. Allgood is right next to Cookeville, Tennessee, where we live. I was really proud of myself. I lasted the whole march, except at the end, my legs got kind of waffly. I'm sure I was just going to fall down. I really appreciated Roy saying how proud he was of me. That meant a lot. And Sister Kathy said if she's up to it, we have another one. She'll participate. Well, this is interesting because um, it was wonderful. We had indigenous gentlemen. They spoke and really got to see from their frame of reference, their immediate experience. And there's been a little bit of dialogue on Facebook. Not specifically about indigenous, um, but BLM. You are never going to truly understand what someone experiences and goes through if you're not in that distinct population. But having said that, you can develop empathy if you listen to their conversations. It is arrogant of me or you to believe that you know someone else's experience and understand it fully. When your mind is closed, I'm tired of hearing about this. I don't want to hear about this. What about us? What about us? I hate to say this, y'all, but you all white men been in charge. European descent been in charge. Basically, European descent. Already been in charge ever since the formation of this nation. You're worried about you. What are you worried about? What are you so freaking worried about? And on top of that, women, if we ran the world, can you imagine? I like to think about that idea. Now, anyways, but what I was going to tie in to the march for the indigenous right to not have, racist slogans and mascots, tossed around. And if you go ahead and look up redskin, I looked it up. It's a derogatory term, even in the dictionary. Okay, let's get back to what I want to tell you about. So I really love Anne of Green Gables. Love it. She is where I'm watching it now, and there is a correlation, tie in here. I'm not just rambling. I'm watching it on Netflix. Well, I was watching it. It got to, and it's really exciting because Anne now is 16, maturing. They are bringing in issues relative to that time period, late 1880s. It was after the emancipation, but it was like I think they're into 1889, 1890. But having said that, it touches on the treatment of a Black American family in there, and also the friendships, just the varying interactions there and their experiences. But what really hit home for me that at this particular time, because I took place in this march and just gaining a deeper understanding. There's a character in there, a young Native American girl who is sent away to a boarding school, and her family is convinced, they're lied to, basically, of course, that she's going to understand more about the culture and feel more confident, and she'll be able to interact more with her white peers, assimilation, all this shit. Not having said that, but anyway, basically what happens, of course, if you're aware of what happened to the boarding schools all the way up into the 1950s and 60s. I think there was one just closed in the 50s or 60s. They took these Native American indigenous people from all of their tribes, took them from their families, completely annihilated their identities. They were sexually abused, they were physically abused, they were mistreated in every possible way. So there's this scene, this beautiful little girl. I don't know, she's like 11. The dad was not allowed to get on the train with her. Oh, they have such beautiful familial relationships. And a federal agent took her. That was pretty much the end of her life, you know. Yeah, it's just a terrible scene where she tries to run away and, she's beaten. Just, I can't watch it anymore. I went ahead and looked ahead and saw where she was never rescued. She ran away once, but was forced to return. Anyway, nothing good came of her story. And knowing that, I don't want to see the end. Now that, I'm even more familiar, and what I'll start doing is reading into it and seeing what role I can play to now help with healing of these tribes, what tiny little speck I can be a part of. But, like again, that would be arrogant of me to think I even understand or begin to, but I'm going to try, I'm going to have more empathy. I'm going to be more open-minded. Um, you know, Everybody loves to say, oh, I love the Native American culture. It's so beautiful, da, 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 da. You really got to understand, like I said, got to understand, you got to know, you got to be part of solutions. Unfortunately, I had this back and forth with a woman I do care about that I grew up with. And she says, well, because of blacks' behavior is why people see blacks as they do. So don't be blaming white people, basically, is what she said. Mm-mm-mm. Have you taken the time to even understand BLM? Have you even studied the root issues and causes and, the disenfranchisement, the systemic annihilation of the Black culture in America? If you think that it ended with the Emancipation Proclamation and the freeing of slaves, oh dear. See, that's the problem. That is the problem. We, as white Americans, think we own this country. Waving our flag, patriotism. It's white privilege. I'm not going to call her out as a racist. I'm going to call her as a white privileged person because she's not informed. And I'm going to say this. I'm going to come right out and say this. To say to someone of my level of education, experience, and commitment to these issues that you know more about it than me, that would be like me saying I know more about Dr. Fauci and the variants, you know, getting a COVID vaccine shot, the pandemic rather, or anything. You know what I'm saying? You know, we can all be arrogant when we want to be. Acknowledge that. That's where growth occurs. Hmm. Anyway, I'm gonna let y'all go. That's my 2 cents for the day. So we're gonna make a lovely dinner for hubby and me. That's it. We're gonna do a little bit of my yoga, a little bit of stretching, and slide into Sunday evening. There you go. Hey, you know what I made a mistake of doing? I was starting to watch some of that disturbing stuff before I went to sleep. So I like, nope, I got to get back to my routine. Last night, we watched Young Sheldon. It was so cute and fun. I went to sleep just like that. Had a better night's sleep. Do what you got to do. I know here I go hodgepodge, rambling on, deviating, meandering. Do what you have to do to be good to yourself. Reduce your stress level. I'm sad. I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna lose my office if we move. I'm gonna adjust. I'll make it. You know, I got to get hubby to come on board with me. I love him to death, but he shares everything with me. And then what happens is my brain can't like get to the point of what Mary needs. And then I get a little resentful and I speak it. I'm open about it, but then I'm like, okay, don't overreact, you know. Respond to yourself, respond to others, set those boundaries, but support theirs as well. Um, One thing that has happened to me, and I'll put this one last thing out there, I promise you I'll let you go. I cannot multitask. And I brought it up in a couple of videos, but I am dead serious. I cannot multitask. So I'm asking anybody in my life that loves me, please be patient with me. I'm not getting dementia, but I do not have the ability to multitask anymore. Seriously, if you see me trying to put something trying to focus on one thing, give me a second to finish. I'll let you know. Could you please wait a moment? I love my sister Judy. She was here. I love her to death, but I had to tell her, like, I'm sorry, I can't multitask. I can't multitask. I was putting things in this were belong here. I was like, oh, tripping over myself. I literally will hurt myself if you don't let me do what I got to do at the moment. I'm sorry. It's self-awareness. I'm very much aware now of that limitation. I'm not going to be ashamed of it. You know, I'm just asking people that love me and care about me. I will let you know, though. I'm not going to assume you're going to understand and know. That would be unfair on my part. I will say, I'm sorry, can I just finish this? And then I'll get right to you. I tell hubby that 3 or 4 times and he keeps trying to still da and then all of a sudden, oh, I'm sorry. Anyways, just train them. Train people how to treat you. Love you all. He's such a doll, though. I cannot underestimate how much he does for me. Oh my God. He's always doing something behind the scenes for me. He's putting together a fairy book for me because I love fairies. Mother's Day, he's like recording music for me that I love for a new CD for the car. You know what I'm saying? If I don't want to go alone anywhere, he goes with me, even if he's involved in something. I still love him, and he just is wonderful, and I still love him. That didn't sound right. You know what I mean? Anyways, love you too. Namaste. Have a great day.